What is up, everybody? Back-to-back episodes. That's how we do it in KSW now, apparently. It's the King's Court. I'm, of course, Zack Woodall. And with me today, a privileged guest on the King's Court, the OG of OGs when it comes to Super Show, Mr. John Clays. How are you doing, my man?
I'd be a lot better if you addressed me as General Manager John Clays.
Well, okay. So, General Manager John Clays, really excited to have you on the show. For those watching for the first time, and for maybe those that don't know, and a refresher for you, the way this works is, I'm not King Greatness here. You're the GM, but you're not the GM. If we're sitting down as friends,
back on the ring crew,
right? Having some fun talking about Super Show.
Indeed.
And this is going to be an interesting one. I don't know where I want to go. I could go 5 or 6 different places.
You get until the end of the match to ask me some questions, hang out,
yeah.
Do what we do.
Let's
do what we've been doing this whole time. We just have the camera on now, folks.
Yeah, that's right. So, we will begin our game after John unstills my die here.
Yeah. Let's start off with a 5.
I started off with a 6.
Let's do it.
So what I've got to ask you first, because I think it's a unique, pretty cool story. How did you get involved with the SRG universe and what is known as the greatest show in the world?
Indeed. That's a great question, and that's good.
All right.
Steve Resk is probably the greatest Raw Deal player of all time, and I played Raw Deal, and I knew of Steve before I actually met him in person. I've seen him a couple of times, and we were at a reunion event in like 2014, and he went ahead and approached me with this game idea. He knew how to be a CPA.
Uh-huh.
He's like, hey, what do you think about this game? And I'm like, listen, this is the greatest design I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take this from your computer and we got to put it on paper. And he was, of course, he had this whole thing planned out. What we do today, he knew about in 2014. He just had to get there.
Yeah.
And together, we got there. He literally approached me. We talked about how can I jump in with you. And we worked out a deal. And we've been partners since early 2014 when it all stared.
Well, it's been a heck of a ride, I know, for you. And so
Release German works.
This works. I'm going to draw 1, flip 1. My turn rolls +1.
It's going to be a short match.
We'll see. Hopefully not. We'll slow it down if it does. How about an 8?
I got an 8 with the gimmick to a 9. I believe you got 3 in there.
I got 3 of them.
I only got 3, so no gimmick with bump.
All right. So, like I said, wild ride for you. I get into it. The second Super Show 8 event over in Gen Con. And I've told my backstory enough, but talk about some of the highs of Super Show over the years, because getting into Gen Con had to be big, getting into Origins had to be big. Cruiser Jericho this year, you've had a lot of big successes.
I think the biggest high for me is simple. It's when I'm in full character, when I'm out there addressing a crowd of 100 people with the ring mat down 2 years ago, and I took a second out and I said, I can't actually believe that I'm out here like 100 people screaming, cheering, getting the screen one fall, and with just the whole way the tournaments have worked, we built up incredible guys like Sean Taft and them to be huge villains and stuff like that. And watching them big matches and watching everybody react and go crazy. The biggest high is seeing the dream from 2014 actually play out in person. And me and Steve just kind of look at each other and go, that's exactly what we wanted and exactly what we knew we could get.
Right.
So any one particular, the particular highs are just those moments with huge crowds. It just it makes me like, wow, we really did this the right way. Oh, and being on the Cruise of Jericho, huge high. Come on. I'll tell you more about that, but lately it's been a lot of highs, which is great.
Well, tell us a little bit about the Cruise of Jericho before I play this finished grappling.
Oh, boy.
Because I know it had to be a great experience. I know you went with some definite goals in mind.
Cruise of Jericho, obviously, we sponsored it. I'm sure you've read enough about that. It was the best experience ever. It was absolutely tremendous. We went in there with plan, goals, to meet all these guys, all this stuff, and we get there, they give us a badge that says talent. And we go into this room, and as we're sitting there eating, right, while everybody's boarding the cruise, Young Bucks walk in with their kids. Yeah. And then you just have, Colt Cabana walk in and all these guys, and then the elite, they're all together. They're all like, hey man, it's like they're like all best friends. They all know each other. They all clearly hang out all the time. Everybody knows everybody's wife, everybody's kids. Being in that room, I'm sitting there eating like, oh my gosh. You got look at the star power around us. Then you got Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross walking in. So just the fact that we were able to access that room, we had so many side conversations, nice times. I had the privilege of sitting down and talking to guys like Jerry the King on like a personal level. He's amazing. There were so many awesome guys on there, and it was just being able to connect with them as humans, and was really important and really, really great.
Well, you break character of them, and you have.
I got compliments on my ring announcing skills from Jerry the King Lawler when he saw me in person, and he said, "You're amazing." And I go, "Please don't ever say that. Not from you."
Yeah, he's the king. Right?
He's the king.
He's the king of amazing. But yeah, I mean that you've told me a lot of other stories about the Cruise of Jericho. I mean that had to be an experience of a lifetime.
It was amazing, and I'd love to share every story with you. But I will tell you this: the guy you're playing as, Brian Cage,
yes.
He's such a cool dude.
Is he as jacked in person?
He is. It's terrifying. You look at Brian Cage, you'll see where every vein in the human body is, and you'll realize that there are veins on your legs that you never knew were there. Right. You look at his legs, there's like veins popping out of it, and I'm like, oh my god, like I didn't know I had that vein, or maybe I don't have that vein.
Right.
Sammy Callahan, coolest guy in the world.
Yeah.
John Morrison is the coolest guy in the world. Like I don't like all these. They are so cool. Hurricane Helms is amazing. All these guys that we had the pleasure of sitting down, hanging out with, playing with.
Did Hurricane play with Cyclone?
He did not. That question's been asked a couple of times. Yeah. He did not. We told him about Cyclone, and his reaction, he marked out. He loved it.
Nice. That's great.
He loved it.
Outstanding. So how's this finished grapple looking?
It's looking good.
It's
looking good for you, not for me. Let's do it.
Your opponent shuffles cards in their deck until they have 2 cards in their hand.
Huh?
There's a shuffle 2 card. It's not randomly. Pick 2 and shuffle them in. It was very weird wording. I don't know how the GM passed this. We won't talk about that though.
You want to talk? We could talk about production if you want. It's constant questions.
I do have another question though.
What do you got?
As it doesn't pertain to the Cruise of Jericho, we can go back to that because I know there's a lot of stories there. But I'm sure in 2014 you can imagine that it would be branched out across America, the world, New Zealand, right, and other places for sure. When the factions started kind of forming, what was your immediate reaction? You had the XCW started, doing their thing.
The factions are absolutely the lifeblood of our business.
Yeah.
The lifeblood of our business. Anybody who gets together and posts a video, anybody who sets up a faction with a champion, a GM, runs weekly events, the guys that just started up in Ohio, Rust Belt, like those groups, the group you have here, obviously, best example I know.
Thank you.
You guys, without you guys, there's no LFF.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I'm the general manager of the Legendary Fighting Federation. But when I come here, this is a local GM. This is how we run the federal government. This is how we run the LFF.
Yes.
I'm sure I'm the president, but we got state officials, and you guys are the lifeblood of it. More factions, the better. I watch every video everybody posts every single day. I love getting up in the morning or just be at work for a minute and just watch promos. I know who the local champions are. I love that. So you guys are. This is a game of dice and cards until you add all these wonderful personalities and awesome people to it, and it's just that's what the show is. So keep doing it and do more of it.
So from what I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of people about this game, is it's unique in a different way. Where yes, the mechanics are there, the game is fun, it's a unique idea. If you love wrestling, you're going to love the game. But the people are so approachable. You sit down in a Magic tournament, for example, you probably don't like the dude that just beat you. You sit down in a Super Show game and you get beat in a good game, and you're like, dude, man, awesome. And then you sit there and you talk for 3 or 4 minutes before coming to even report.
Love it.
That for me, the community is such a tight-knit community.
Community is incredible. I mean, I can't even... I'm so thankful it is because, you get some wacky characters out there.
Yeah.
I never played Magic, but I played Yu-Gi-Oh!, I played Raw Deal, I played some games. There was some nasty people out there, some rough people, and it's just, we just don't have that.
No, and, well, here's a good example from the KSW, okay? Right. There was no secrets that Sean Taft and the KSW beefed for quite a while, right? I mean, it was clear, it was obvious to those around us. Last year, we sat down over a game of Super Show, very similar to this, and the beef's done. There's no more beef. Now, well, I could have promo on Sean Taft, absolutely. That's not what I'm saying. But as far as you just don't walk away thinking, I just don't like it.
I'll tell you guys straight up that. Oh, nice.
10.
I'll tell you guys straight up before I try to roll this grapple here.
Yeah.
When me and you've seen our YouTube channel, you've seen the promo of Sean Taft files a complaint in the boss's office while Steve moderated me and him.
Yes.
You can ask Taft this to confirm that was real heat.
Yeah.
We were going at each other for a minute.
Yeah.
But his passion is what we need.
Absolutely.
And Sean Taft, when he took that bump from the security guard at Origins, I just got up and hugged him. I'm like, Sean, I love you, man.
Yeah.
You're the man. I love Sean. He's wonderful. He's been around since day one. He's our first champion at Gen Con.
Mm-hmm.
He's an awesome dude. And me and him, I wish I spent more time actually hanging out with the guy rather than just, getting to see him a couple times a year. But I wish I could do that with more people. There's so many people I just love to do that. So, I love coming down here, right? Yeah. You guys, anybody, any state, you guys can draw a tournament like these guys drew yesterday. I'll be there, 100%. That's what we're all about. I want to get to you got a store or a play group and you want me to come down there. You just shoot me a message. I want to come down there. I'd love to. I love traveling. I love being part of the action. But remember, I'm coming to your store. I'm not going to be the GM when I come to your store. I'm going to play.
Right.
And you can ask these guys. I'm pretty good, except I got to roll 10 right now.
Yeah, you got to roll 10. No big deal.
Let's see if we can do it. 10, first roll. See how good I am?
See, that's easy.
We call it.
So I got to ask you, from a player's perspective, because many people don't know that you actually play the game, right? You got to play it with Worlds last year at Gen Con, but who's your favorite character? Is it the Pit?
He's my favorite character in the game. Yeah, he is. And I'll shout out to Shane Strickland yesterday, who we played Snake Pit versus Snake Pit at Comic Book World, and he beat me soundly. And his deck is very, very good. Snake Pit's my favorite. People will probably see me play Devil's Advocate. He's my other favorite. There's so many great competitors, but those are my two favorite for sure.
And a question that I've been asked that I was like, I really don't know. Do you have a character?
I do not have a character in the Super Show.
Yeah.
I've been asked that a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Is it coming? Spoiler alert, is it coming?
We've had discussions.
Yeah.
We're talking about it. I love when people, tease what my gimmick would be. We actually kind of worked out preliminary lines for a gimmick, but, we'll get into that another time. If you guys have any ideas, post it on page. What would GM Clace's gimmick be?
Yeah. Post it on the
If you give me something terrible, I'm going to take note of who you are. Of
yeah, of course. Well,
can't wait to see what Sean Taft comes up with on General Manager John Calase's gimmick.
If it's less than a paragraph, I'm going to be disappointed.
Good.
Hey.
We're going to go up to a 9 here.
All right.
With the gimmick. Let's try a discus punch.
Discus punch. Lead strike.
Lead strike.
So honestly, as big as the game has got, you kept a really level head, and what makes it so cool is that you're willing to come down to little Podunk, Kentucky, Russellville, Kentucky, not Loserville, Kentucky.
Not Loserville, Kentucky.
Not Loserville. But you come down to little Russellville, Kentucky, and you hang out. And for me, I always say, and I say it to many of them, I made friends that I would have never made.
Never.
I would have never had a person from New York come down and visit me once, let alone for a couple times. I would have never known a person from New Zealand if it wasn't from this. I would never, Chicago.
Shout out to Ian,
and
too.
Columbus.
Ian is the man. I love Ian.
Yeah, so for me, this game has gained me so many friends that I necessarily wouldn't have had. And I know that's got to be a lot of the same for you. As far as a community, I know you get probably reached out to quite a bit,
Oh, yeah, of course. But I've made a ton of friends out of this. We're friends. I've got friends all over the country that I would have never made if it wasn't for this wonderful business and community that we've all built together.
Okay.
And God, Steve, too. He just you should see what Steve's inbox looks like on a daily basis. I'm sure some people listening are probably contributing to that. And he loves it. Steve will sit there all day and connect to people and talk to people. He loves it. As do I,
Right.
So, yeah. I think my goal is to get out to more places, hang out with people on a personal level. I apologize to everybody I can't do that at Gen Con. I think everybody kind of knows that Gen Con is 4 days that basically don't sleep, and we go ahead and just run right through it. I don't have a chance to sit down and have a conversation like I'm having with you now, etc., with so many people that I want to. So get those events going, people. It doesn't need to be in the store. You get some people together and play. You hype it up. You don't know who's going to come.
For instance, we're in my garage right now, not a store.
No.
So
you tell General Manager John Clace in a garage?
Nah, it's a gaming garage, though, right?
Indeed, it is.
Yeah.
I love it.
So talk to us a little bit about Steve Risk, man. What's the deal, man? I know
I'll give you the deal.
Great dude.
Steve Risk is a great dude, and he's an actual genius, and he's the man. Simple. He's the things that he and we're so different. We think differently on every level. Nine apiece. We think differently on every level. We're constantly bouncing ideas off of each other. The things he would come up with, I'd never think of. Vice versa. We're gonna go up to a 9 with the gimmick. Do I have it? I do. Try the running face kick.
But you think that would make it work better? You have to see stuff.
You guys have to understand that this is Steve Resk's entire life.
Right.
This business. And Sage, who is the best person in the world. I mean, she does everything for us.
Yeah.
Sam, she's tremendous. She does everything for us.
Yeah, I mean...
and having her join the team, and she's almost been around since the very first moment, but having her on the team is just made the entire game grow so much more. Off camera here. What would you do, folks? What would I choose?
Got a couple good options.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to grab the real good stop. Grab the running lariat.
So we got to know. And see if I can pick his brain and see if we can get him to, I don't know, delve into the stories. You got so many big-time indie wrestlers, right? AJ Styles before he goes to the E, you get him. And then Ricochet, EC3. I mean, the list goes on. Who, in your mind, would have been the biggest miss?
Oh.
And why was it a miss?
I think this is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. It's McIntyre. It's definitely Drew McIntyre because we had him. We had him. We talked about it, and he got signed by the E 2 weeks later. I mean, Steve cut a promo with Drew McIntyre. He would have promoted. He would have been all in for us, and that's a miss because he just goes in just after, and it's a tough dynamic because I think he's like, you get guys in the game, but when the guys actually go out there are cool on a personal level and promote the game, it just adds another element to them. So I'd say that he's my biggest miss.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be cool just at least sitting down with them, throwing out the game. On a personal, you definitely get that one.
7 there. Yeah. I don't have a finish for you though.
No finish.
Not what anybody wants to hear.
Disappointed fans.
We go the Flying Facebuster. Gen Con 1 promo.
That's right. I got a couple. You got it.
There's one. Take that one or that one.
Oh, look at all the finishes coming out.
I see that Discord pop for a second.
Of course you can.
I'm checking for. I think all players do. No help. No new information. Grab the jumping pile driver. You know what? Yeah, it's
the better option.
The better bonuses. I'm just, what card I'm thinking you have. But we got a 10. Look at this.
Got an 8.
Turn the match around.
Just brutal on me.
Jumping pile driver.
Well, we'll just disappoint you with the Pele kick.
All right.
I get to draw one.
Bit of a curveball. I like it.
Yeah. I like those cards. How hard is it to come up with new cards?
Ask the boss. He does all the work.
Yeah.
I see the cards only moments before they're printed. We have a tremendous playtesting group. That's an 8 for me.
It's an 8 for me?
No gimmick? I missed check.
5.
Yeah, no gimmick. The boss, he is the head man at keeping this game balanced, keeping it great. That is his job, and he's tremendous at it.
Oh, absolutely.
Try the inverted face lock.
Look at you running all the Gen Con promos.
Got it.
We're just going to hit toss my way out of it.
Gen Con is the greatest show on earth.
It is. Big plans for Gen Con next year?
Big plans, yeah. Big changes coming. I think what most people have asked are more events, and we're definitely doing more than 3 events. We're still going to have the main 3 events.
Yes.
We're going to have more events during the day. So if folks are around, kind of hanging out, it might be you don't have to play in every event, obviously, but there's going to be prizes. There's going to be different flavors of events. They're not all just going to be singles. More details on what kind of events those are going to be, but expect more events. Expect it to be with Gen Con the day they release their schedule. You'll see all of our different events, so pre-register however you'd like. Of course, we got registration promos and such, and I will be asking and calling on some folks from the LFF to be general managers in those events. So I will not be running all those events. So pick if you're practicing being GM all year, you can do it at Gen Con.
I like it.
You got an 8.
I finally got it to you.
Oh, there he is. He is the machine. Brian Cage was playing as himself on the cruise.
Outstanding.
Okay? He rolled 4 powers in a row, and I swear his arms were growing in real time.
That is outstanding. I mean, how many people do get as far as the indie guys get to play with their people? I mean, have the Bucks played it?
My friend, Sami Callihan is the unified LFF heavyweight champion with his own character.
I mean, it's pretty sweet.
And I think some people have been asking about Sami Callihan, how that all came up. I think we should talk about that.
Let's hear it.
All right. We have a lot of champions in the LFF. We've got 5 Gen Con world champions. We've got 2 Origins champions.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of, great folks. Okay, but when you win that belt, when you are the champion, you never get to actually defend the belt. You never get the bonuses from the belt. So, me and the team, we talked and we said we want to have one champion that has the belt that gets passed around the country, potentially the world. Okay? And when you want to challenge the champion or earn the right to challenge the champion, he gets to play with the belt. I want to announce right here, it's the first time I'll announce it, Sami Callihan will be coming to Comic Book World to face our number one contender, Kirk Polka. That's going to happen. That's a match that's going to happen in Louisville.
It's exciting.
All right? And everybody who is a champion will have an opportunity to get up there. Shout out to John Paul Verino. I think he is the best player in the world. I don't think there's really a question right now.
Undefeated until the last
He is the best player in the world. Shout out to him. He's tremendous, great guy. I've known him for 12 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome dude. Got to sit down with him on this show and got to kind of pick his brain.
I can't wait to listen to him. Sure he said wonderful things about the boss. Yeah. Dive off the rope to work, man.
The Sami Callihan thing, I mean, that's cool. I'm going to one day win a title. I feel it in my blood.
King Greatness.
That's right. It can't be. Oh, what am I doing?
King Greatness. No wins.
6. I have wins.
In the best play group in the world.
That's
do you think you're the best play group in the world?
I do.
You guys think? How about the Louisville guys?
It's no offense. We kind of started the gangster stuff with the promos, right?
Indeed.
Let's be real about it. A few years ago, I stood in this very garage and let everybody know we were coming to win, and we did, And
I tell you with the full Nelson.
But other than that, even with it, we're very into character. We
dropped that hip toss in the wrong car.
You got it. Yeah, that's a bummer.
I
feel like
we got one strike.
I feel like as far as our play group, with the depth of the competitors that we have, I mean, we're sitting here with 2 world champions. We're sitting here with the only Tornado Tag Champion. We're sitting here with an Underworld Champion, the undisputed Underworld Champion. The depth that we have is elite. And why do I call myself King Greatness, folks? Because I've held more titles in KSW than any of the other ones. So
I hear it.
So I feel like the success that I'm having down here, that kind of validates me. But for everything else,
I go to 10 also due to you got to bury this one as well.
This one?
Yeah, it's screw it goes in the bottom instead of in the discard.
I just buried it? I just buried my strikes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just buried submissions.
Yeah. No, you put that in the disc. I put that in the disc.
Oh, you put it over there. Gotcha.
I get a 10 with the roll, unless my gimmick goes. What do you got in your hand?
1, 2, 3, 6, 7.
All right, looks like I get an 11 then. Plus 3, plus 1. Gimmick.
Snake Pit.
Hey, man. I love Snake Pit.
What's coming up in 2018 for the rest of the year, early 2019?
Well, we got PAX Unplugged in 2 weeks. I think that's going to be, depending on when you post this, it's going to be the last weekend of November. That's going to be our first time there. Anybody in the Philadelphia area, please get over there. We're going to be running events on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at 5 p.m., Sunday at noon. And that'll wrap up the year.
Yeah.
Next year, we are just incredibly busy in the first half of the year. We're going to try to get that title defense from Sami Callihan going early part of next year, winter. Obviously, we're in the pipeline for Origins, Gen Con, PAX Unplugged again. Potentially the Cruise of Jericho too, if they announce it. I would likely want to do it again. It was just such an unbelievable experience. And I'm telling everybody, it looks expensive, and I get it. It is definitely expensive. It is worth it if you can get on it. It is, and we would love to just have some more folks supporting us on there. So to anybody, if they announce a second one, it's something to consider. I know it's expensive, but great time.
Well, of course. I mean, I can imagine it is.
No.
As far as set development and all that coming out, I know you got a new set about to drop.
We'll have a Kickstarter, and then the first part of the year, like we always do, that'll be coming up. No details on that just yet, but just expect that. The new box set coming out at PAX is amazing. It's available on SRGUniverse.com right now.
Right.
Limited supply, limited run. There's some real good stuff in there.
Okay, let's see. You can tell me no. There's someone blurred out on that box. Do you know who's blurred out on the box?
I do.
Would you care to share? Can he share? Don't want to get you in trouble with the other boss.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
Big guy. He's definitely elite.
All right. We'll take clues. We like clues.
We'll leave it at that.
All right. That works for me. All right, so you got that.
Yep. 2 to the roll. Go to 11.
I went to 7.
We'll go Charging headbutt. +4 to the roll.
You got it, buddy. I'm just running.
Make it a 14.
I just hit my power, I guess. What's the biggest challenge being the GM?
You know what the biggest challenge of this whole thing is? And this, you realize that when you watch wrestling, everything's scripted.
Yeah.
Right? We know that. And they make storylines, they know what's going to happen. You realize I have no idea what's ever going to happen.
Right.
Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how many scenarios I have to go through if he wins or she wins? Or do you know how awesome it was when Paige won? And how awesome it is when Sean Taft is in the finals after we feud? It just, that stuff, we don't plan. How awesome it was when I called Austin Pogue the chosen one and he won. Then you guys just blew up and went over after that. We can't script the dice rolls. We can't script the games.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, that's the hardest part because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, yeah.
I could hype up a guy and go 05. You know?
Well, you've been lucky with that.
I haven't been lucky. I'm choosing the right people. Sorry if I haven't chosen you. Slingshot +2 to roll.
Yeah, you got it. Just running through.
I know what's in the hand. That's a 12, man.
Okay, so
I think all three did. All three are in there. So.
Just brutalize me right now. With no finishes, though.
That'd be 3 to the roll, Russian leg sweep.
Yeah.
Go to 11.
I could have got it to 12, but I didn't.
2 to the roll, hanging headlock. Get to see the whole deck. Posted deck list for this. I just, unfortunately, had my finishes.
Jeez, let's just slow you down a little bit. My gosh.
Yeah, alright, that works.
See if I can get a turn in. 8.
I got a 10.
Of course.
Can't make it up. Let's just make it even. Go Hurricane around and +1 to the agility.
So the belt that we all saw is that, yeah, you got it. The belt we all got to see, is that going to be the one passed around?
The one that Sami Callihan is currently holding will be the one that's passed around if Sami Callihan drops the belt. He's going to be good. He's good.
Yeah.
Sami Callihan's not only a cool dude, he knows how to play the game.
And his character's good.
And his character's good. He is the draw. And I think his character will benefit tremendously from the next set coming out of the PAX Unplugged box set. So if you're a Sami Callihan fan, you know, not only is he in the box set, we know that, but you're going to want to, make sure that you have those cards with him.
Yeah.
Make him real good.
Absolutely.
I'm going to lose this wonderful ring I got here, yeah.
All right.
Or maybe lose the match. With this hand, I have no stop for it.
Weapon X. Here we go.
All I needed was one turn.
8 to the 9 for the meter.
Technique. How many in your hand? I don't think I have a gimmick right now.
6.
I have 6 also. I have nothing extra in my technique, so that's going to be 1. 2. Need a 9. King Greatness gets the win.
Cage gets the win. Thank you so much.
The Machine, Brian Cage, gets the win.
I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you have coming out. I always enjoy you get to come down, and I appreciate you doing this for us, sitting there.
You guys got to get, this is what happened. KSW got on the mic, and they got me down here. Get on the mic and get me down there. Get me up there, wherever it is. I'd love to be there. The boss would love to be there. Shout out to Pat Mulligan for making the trip yesterday.
Absolutely.
Pat Mulligan's been on our team since day one, head of creative. Guy's awesome. I love when I get to actually spend some time and hang out with him on a personal level, but he's always working, as am I, but get me over there. I'm ready to go. I'd love to be there.
I like it. Lord willing, we'll be doing a bunch more of these, and we can pick your brain about some more of your fun stories that I've got a chance to hear, but I know everybody else wants to hear as well, so I appreciate it, man.
All right.
Thank you for coming down.
Go back to being the general manager?
Yes, go back to being the general manager. Anything you want to say as the general manager?
That this Kentucky's disgusting. I can't wait to go back to New York. I'm flying first class tomorrow, first flight out. It's going to be wonderful. I'll post a video of that. And I'm great.
Man, I got bad news. We threw your suit in the mud sty back.